Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. That's right, folks. I am in my car. I'm in the Target parking lot, which means I've seen a movie, which means it is live reaction time. So pull up a chair, take a seat. I'm fresh out of the theater after seeing Crazy Rich Asians. No, I'm not tired. I haven't, been up to any shenanigans. I've spent the last, 20 to 25 minutes just sobbing like a child. Wow. I have such a crazy range of emotions and things and how I feel about this movie. But ultimately, I'm like, wow. I'm kind of caught off guard. So that's the best way to approach talking about Crazy Rich Asians is to experience it the way I experienced it. And this movie gets off to a really slow start. I was kind of hyped going into the movie, and it kind of starts slow. It gets injected with a whole lot of energy by Awkwafina, who's just an absolute star every time she's on screen. She's the biggest win in the movie. But outside of when she was on screen, there were a lot of dips in the movie, and the first hour and 20 minutes were a lot slower than I had anticipated, and they were throwing so much at you. I mean, from old China, versus new China, Chinese Americans versus, non-Chinese Americans, rich versus poor, the way social media can explode a famous person's life in a matter of minutes. So many things just bombarding you with all these different subject matters. And I mean, that's only a few of them, right? And I'm sitting there in the first hour and 20 going, all right, this movie's got lots of really awesome moments. They show food a lot in this movie, and then they show mahjong up close. And anytime they're doing up close stuff with the hands, I'm just in love with this movie. I want to go to Singapore now, so bad. Scenery and the locations and things you fall in love with. But as you're going along with the movie, I'm kind of sitting there. I'm like, what you're doing isn't bad. Everything that's going on is good, but you're pick something, right? I felt like it was all over the place, and ultimately, I really felt like this shouldn't be a movie. This should be a 10-episode season on Netflix. To do it justice, I felt like it was just going through all these different things so quickly, and trying to pack it into this crazy story. I just thought the movie was. I thought I was gonna walk out of it saying this movie was just overly ambitious. It's not bad, but it missed the mark a little bit because it tried to do too many things. And in a 10-episode season, I think it really could have thrived. And I hit the last 40 minutes or so of this movie, and all of a sudden I fell into a 90s rom-com and just fell in love. It's wild how all of a sudden, you get to a moment in the movie, and right when the moment happens, all of a sudden you're in the third act of a 90s rom-com, and it's wonderful. I'm a child of the 90s, so watching I fell for every cliche just layup thing. I fell for all of it, and every turn I'm just going oh, sobbing, absolutely sobbing. And then I sit there, and as the movie's wrapping up, all of a sudden all of the stuff it had thrown at you just kind of fell into place like a giant puzzle, and I went, whoa. I really do think this movie is a little overly ambitious, but it ends up working somehow. I think John M. Chu is the director. All of a sudden, man, the last act of the movie, I got it, and I was like, wow, I really enjoyed it. I still think it probably would have been even better in a series type model, because I think it had a lot to explore, and I would have liked to have seen it stay in some places longer. Okay, that's just the movie in and of itself. Performance-wise, I already said Awkwafina, unbelievable. I'm really bad. I can't remember any of the names right now. But our leads, the folks who play Nick and Rachel, great. You slowly fall in love with most of the actors in this movie. I really thought all of the acting performances were pretty solid. And the movie's fun, man. Like, there are just moments where and it's so natural. There are moments in the movie where, like, this is what I was talking about. Like, in that first hour and 20, I was like, there are just moments all over this movie that I'm like, oh man, I love this scene because it feels so real. Oh man, I love this scene. This was so much fun. Or, oh, and it's littered with that. And then all of a sudden, like I said, you get to the last 40 minutes and everything you're watching, I'm just like, I love the cinematography of this movie. I love the style of this movie. I loved how big this movie ultimately ended up being. So, yeah, it took me a little while to get through, like, talking about this one, man, because I'm right out of the theater. I'm still, like, a whole mixed bag of emotions. But I really think that this was something really good. Like, I was, like I said, an hour and 20 in, I was like, this is an okay movie that just tried to do too many good things, and it didn't quite click. And then it all clicked, and I was impressed. So if you want to know what the Seaman thinks, go see Crazy Rich Asians. You might get, like an hour in or so, and it might struggle. Wait it out. It is so worth it. I got to the end of this movie, I was like, wow. So go check out Crazy Rich Asians. That's all I gotta think, man, as far as my live reaction goes. I gotta put things on paper before I can talk about this movie anymore. So that's it. Now it's your turn. Hit those comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Have you seen the movie? It's been out, I think, for a week now. Have you seen it? Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? What are you thinking? Hit all those comments. Try to keep them spoiler free and, brief. This is the brief stuff, right? We're just kind of talking real quick. But a lot to talk about. Holy. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And as always, if you're new here, hit that subscribe and little bell so you get alerts every time I make a new video. The Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. I'm the Seaman, and I'm signing off. Peace! Hey, you like the Seaman's videos? Well, why don't you click on this one and hit that subscribe button there? Yeah!